Hello, guys. I hope you guys are having a great day. I'm still talking about how to maintain work-life balance. I think is a topic that we need to stress and we need to talk about. So I have four parts, and I think this is the third part that I'm about to bring. And I've talked about the causes of the causes of work-life imbalance. I've talked about the effect of work-life imbalance. Now I want to talk about the benefits of having achieving a work-life balance. And some of the benefits from the research that I mentioned earlier, it's that 20% of employees with good work-life balance, they work harder. Um, the company get to retain 89% of the employees get to be retained for a long time, because we've seen that when there's a work-life imbalance, there's a lot of traffic, there's a lot of movement, there's a lot of movement of there's a lot of movement when it comes to retaining employees. And also the healthcare expenditures are lower when there's a work life balance. So basically, it is needful, important for companies to try as much as possible to see how they can maintain a good work-life balance. It's extremely important, because when we put that into consideration, what happens is that it boosts productivity, obviously, because now people can get to work and people can get to rest, and people can come back to work refreshed. Let me just bring some of the things I mentioned to you. The first presentation, when I was talking about the causes, some people said they have overbearing bosses that have no respect of their time. They can call at any particular time, and that there were no clear working hours. They can work. They can be called at any particular point in time to work. And others said they have colleagues that don't help out a lot, so they have to do more. They also said, I think, commuting, the time it takes to commute from home to work was also part of the things that was leading to their stress. And some of the effect is that it has some kind of physical and mental effect on people, and it leads to lower productivity. So I think that companies and employers should make sure that there is a balance between life and work. Also, some of the employees complain that since the advent of technology, their life has become hell. During the lockdown in 2020 and 2021, everybody was working at home, and people at first were enjoying it, and oh, I'm working at home. But you realize that you work longer hours, where you put in 8 hours on a normal work day. Sometimes you work 12, 16, 17 hours or 18 hours a day. You find yourself working even without taking a bath. I called a friend one day. He said, look, I have been working for 12 hours straight, and he hasn't even taken a bath, didn't even brush his mouth. And he said, my superiors just feel that because I'm at home, they're doing me a favor by being at home, so I need to work more. And it messed up a lot of dinner time, family bonding time for quite a lot of people within that time. And coming out of the COVID, the lockdown, and the world has changed a bit. It's more of hybrid of working in the office and also working online. So it puts a lot of pressure on people. And you know that working virtually also brings a cut in salary, because that is what most companies do during the lockdown almost 50% of their salaries were slashed. Why? Because they don't have to commute to the office, and they don't have to, some of those overheads, or the cost expenditure they have to make coming to the office, the company just more or less like takes it off. And some people, 50-60% was slashed from their salary, and because they are working at home. So how does he make it better? And this puts a lot of stress on, on people, mentally and physically, as well as health wise. And it's somewhere you begin to have employees that are highly irritable, employees that are depressed, employees that are not putting in their best. So I think employers rather should take this very seriously. So that's why I want to bring out the benefits. Today I'm talking about the benefits, and some of the benefits, like I said earlier, is the employees get to work harder because they come in fresher, they come in well rested. The employee retention is very high. People are not coming and going, and also the healthcare is like 50%, for companies that offer or provide healthcare services to their people. It's healthcare bills, they reduce by about 50%, because people are not being stressed out, and because people are not being stressed out, they are not falling sick easily. So what you have is that it boosts productivity, it lowers the rate of absenteeism, and of course there will be improvement in our physical and mental health, and better commitment and motivation is something that you will see within the company. So now look at, I saw a write-up, and they were trying to compute unscheduled absenteeism that costs the business up to like there was a figure, but I don't quite know how they came about that figure, but there's a cost to absenteeism to the company. So when you and there's also a cost, a medical bill, a medical expenses on employees that fall sick. So whether you believe it or not, there are hidden costs, hidden charges per employee. If you are allowing them, if you come up with a policy that encourages or favors work and life balance, you will not have a lot of people breaking down. The environment will not even be toxic. The environment will be welcoming, because if the environment is toxic, most people can just fall ill. Sometimes I've seen people in sales, when it's Monday morning that they need to come and defend or talk about the sales for last week, they fall ill because they know they have a boss there that is overbearing, a boss that is going to dish out insults and all manner of unfriendly things there. So people fall ill. So we must be able to make sure that our environment is conducive enough for us to profit, conducive enough for us to make profit, and for the business rather to grow. So this hidden cost, you wouldn't know it, but it affects the bottom line of the organization. So you can save that medical bill, you can save the cost of that absent person in the office. So basically, I'll summarize with this: the benefits of having a work-life balance is better morale. Your employees have a better morale, and it helps improve productivity. It lowers stress. Somebody that doesn't have stress, the lower the stress, the more the commitment and willingness to try out things and to take up tasks and responsibilities that will help you help the organization to grow. It reduces employee turnover, and people leaving the office, there should be some form of retention of employees. When employees come, stay 3 months, 6 months, 1 month, it costs the organization because they are constantly recruiting, and that recruitment cost is also there. And it costs. There's also cost for training. There's cost for going over the same things you have to go over when a new employee comes. So there is a cost. There's a hidden HR cost that can be spared if you balance, if you know how to get your employees to balance their work and their life and their work, and put it in proper perspective and proper order. So also there is more productive. The staff will become more productive. You increase positive presence in the business community. So this is the benefits. The benefits are huge. This is the benefit of making sure that your organization, your employees, can achieve that work-life balance. I know that in life you can never achieve it 100%, but the job, the office should be somewhere people look forward to going, not something people dread. And employers, you can do a lot to help your employees go through this, because the benefit is to you. There are some expenses you don't know. I just brought out a few for you, but there's a lot. There's some expenses that you will go through if you don't cop these things. So employers, I really urge you, try as much as possible to balance your life, and the balance work and life for your employees. Even you as an employer, try not to put yourself under too much stress. Stress reduces productivity. Yes, I know the company has to grow. I know that nothing good comes without hard work. Yes, I know that, but at the same time, it's only someone that is alive that can benefit from that company growth and from the profit and from the success that comes with it. So let us learn to live well. It pays. So thank you guys for listening to me. When I come again, I'm going to give you tips on how you can achieve this work-life balance. Thank you guys for listening to me today.